A Moorish Bath, 1881. I thought it was only right that I would do this demonstration because, as we know, the Moors brought the Europeans out of darkness and brought the Renaissance, showed them how to take baths, wudu, also science, arithmetic, or math, all of that. So let's begin. A Moorish bath would not be a bad thing after such a morning, only we must hurry to take it before 12 o'clock, as from that hour until 6 in the evening, the establishment is sacred to the gentle sex, so that's when the Moorish women took their baths. We will go to the Etat Major, where, being accustomed to the treatment of invalids, we will be handled more tenderly. Notice on the threshold as we enter that phlegmatic Bedouin kneading his feet as a finishing touch to his bath. He will remind you of Gordon's picture in the museum at Marseilles of voluptuous Tiberius manipulated by an attendant. A simple curtain separates us from the chamber, which serves at once as sitting and dressing room. Raise this, and if you are at all up in what artists call chiaroscuro, I promise you an agreeable view. In the half light produced by a unique lamp are softly defined columns of white marble, a cuckoo clock, Morocco trays, Venetian glass, and bathed in shadow, a carved alabaster fountain with a gurgling jet stream, and the galleries and mysteries lofts strewn with sleepers and attendants wrapped in long robes, reminding one of the nun scene in the third act of Robert Le Diable. At a signal from the chief, there approaches a half-naked native with girded loins and most peculiar arranged hair, who leads you by the hand to your disrobing place. He murmurs a few words which you are to understand as meaning to perform this action. Then, with a towel girding your loins, a turban on the head, and your feet in sandals, you proceed to the ordeal. The heat assists your imagination in thinking the young Moors about you as so many cannibals with their flashing eyes, wrecking chocolate-colored skins, and continual exhibition of white teeth. The usual kneading process ensues, with which you are no doubt familiar from the ordinary Turkish bath. The after pleasure of stretching off and enjoying your coffee and a pipe or some tea and a cigarette is never to be forgotten, except in the delicious sleep which follows and from which you are sufficiently refreshed, surely, for whatever occupation turns up for the rest of the day. Now, next we're going to go on to Moors cleaning their clothes. So let's go into that. Islam. Washing clothes in Morocco. The only work I ever saw men doing in Morocco is washing clothes. When a Moor washes his clothes, it is because they need washing, and not for the absurd reason simply that Saturday night has come around. And as a Moor, from his outdoor life, can kick like a mule. They kick their clothes clean instead of scrubbing them. They seem to have regular washing bees when they get together at the river banks, provided with large flat stones. Then they soak their clothes in Moorish soap until the tertiary period has had a chance to soften, after which the real fun commences. A thorough artist places his wash on the flat stone, cuts a double pigeon wing with each leg in turn, tape the inside of his knee with his opposite foot before he brings it down with a spank, like the fond caress of childhood, making at the same time a noise with his mouth similar to the escape of a Westinghouse engine, while the dirt of ages flies in all directions, and all hands, or rather feet, keep time with the regulatory of a dance. For the Moorish, and I can't find what that word is. I went back and zoomed in, man, but it's not clear. This is 1888. For the Moorish of the wash tub is supposed to hover around and flap his celestial wings in contentment as long as the racket is kept up in this manner. So those Moors invented basically the first washing machine, brothers and sisters, with a bird. So yeah, we're always collecting Moorish articles. Here's just one more before we leave. A famine is feared in Morocco, owing to the ravages of the locusts, the worst in the history of the Moorish Empire. And locusts stick out to me a lot, man, back when I was little. But I only seen them when I was little. I ain't seen them since. And that's every 7 years is what that's supposed to be, right? The locust. I just remember when I was little going to a Coke machine and I put my hand in to get the can of Coke. And when I pulled out the Mr. Pibb, my whole hand was covered with locusts, but like I wasn't tripping or nothing. I was basically like stunned just watching them. I mean, my whole hand in the Mr. Pibb was covered in them. But peace and love, honors to all brothers and sisters, divine honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Islam.